Pentagon retained the title with a package pile driver on King Cuerno. Marty the Moth came back out, and he laid out Pentagon with the same double underhook DDT that he used to win the Gift of the Gods title earlier in the night. Then he hit a curb stomp. And Antonio Cueto came out, and he said that Marty had a great idea last week when he said that the 1 week's notice rule for the Gift of the Gods Championship is dumb. He said it was my son's idea, Dario, and my son is gone, and so he's waiving the rule going forward. So I guess we now know what that extra bit of cash was for at the end of the show last week that Marty gave Antonio. So we got an impromptu Lucha Underground Championship match. This thing is now, they've gone full Money in the Bank cash-in with this thing now. And we got ourselves a championship match, Pentagon defending technically against his third challenger now of the night. And Marty tied Pentagon's mask at one point to the rope so he couldn't move. This is while he beat on him. Pentagon fought back. He hit a Mexican destroyer, but Marty wisely rolled out to the floor. And with Pentagon's back turned on the opposite end of the ring, Chelsea Green slithered out from underneath the ring, kicked Pentagon in his cojones, and hit a Canadian destroyer. She is from Canada, so it is indeed a Canadian destroyer. And that allowed Marty to hit a package pile driver. He beat Pentagon with his own move. Pinned him. 1, 2, 3. And just like that, Marty the Moth gets his revenge on Pentagon for breaking his arm at the beginning of the season in that Aztec Warfare match. He wins both titles on the same night and ends the show as the Lucha Underground Champion. I will say I did not see that coming. That I did not see coming. It does shake up the entire show, which is probably a good thing. It's good to shake things up every now and then. And it is good storytelling with Marty getting his revenge. There is a tie there. It's not like some random guy who just cashed in on Pentagon. He had beef with Pentagon. He had a bone to pick with this guy for, Pentagon breaking his bones earlier in the season, and he got his revenge. He took his championship away from him. And Marty, Marty has been one of the mainstays in this company or on this show since the very first season. I keep saying company. It's not, I don't know that it's technically a company. But he's been one of the mainstays on this show now from the very first season when he debuted as a fan. Think about that. He debuted as a fan. I guess that's kind of how Santino debuted in WWE. And then he won the Intercontinental Championship, like that. I think on night one. So he debuted as a fan on this show. And his character has been through a lot of different things over the years. It's kind of just this off the wall, a little bit of comedy mixed in there, but just very unnerving, just a very disturbed individual. And it looks like now he may be taking an even darker turn. I like which I welcome, by the way. I like the pair of him with Chelsea Green. I like Chelsea Green being on the show. I think she's very good, and as a character, I think she'll fit in perfectly, I think, on this show. But I think that could be a lot of fun to watch. But for me, with Marty, it was the Weapons of Mass Destruction match that he had a couple of seasons ago with Killshot. That was the first time I remember watching Marty on this show, and I sat up and I really took notice. Because before that, the only thing I knew of him before this show was he was on Tough Enough. And I thought he got screwed, frankly. I think he should have won that season of Tough Enough. I think he was on his way to winning, and he got hurt. I think it was some kind of ankle injury. He may have broken his ankle, whatever it was. So that was my exposure to him, so that was, my knowledge of him going into the show. And like I said, his character has never really been positioned as sort of a top-tier character on the show. Maybe now they're going to try. Maybe now it's just a transitional thing, and maybe he'll drop the championship in a few weeks. Again, Lucha Underground's very different than your traditional sort of pro wrestling show, and you get all worked up about, oh, why is this guy not getting a push, and this and that, and Lucha Underground I've described before as just a comic book come to life. It's all these intersecting stories and characters, and guys come and go for various reasons. Guys get murdered. I'm shocked we haven't had any murders on this show the last couple of weeks. So you gotta, I think, look at it a little bit differently. This is the story arc right now with him and Chelsea Green, and we'll see. We'll see if it goes all the way to Ultima Lucha, if maybe he even loses the championship before then. And we'll see if they position him now as more of a serious threat. But it was that match with Killshot, though, that really got my attention, that hey, this guy is actually pretty good and he can go in there and have a, a great match. So I don't know if it's just Pentagon chasing now for the championship to try to get the belt back, if they're going to introduce another person into this whole equation and Marty can sort of feud with them. I would think we're in for a chase with Pentagon, trying to get the belt back, and probably breaking a lot of arms along the way. But I think overall this was a net positive, though, for the show. It shakes things up, like I said, creates a new interesting pairing, and good for Marty. Because, like I said, he's been one of the mainstays on this show from day one.